Hello, I'm here with Tasman, little baby Tasman, and I'm going to read a story to her called The Three Little Wolves and the Big Bad Pig. Okay, so that's the cover.
Yeah, I can
Once-
do it. And
Good.
then you.
Don't worry, I can just cut out this part. Okay. Hello, I'm Niko and I'm a baby Tasman right here. Yeah, and I'm going to read a story to her called The Three Little Wolves and the Big Bad Pig. Yeah, right there. So, let's start this off. Once upon a time there were three cuddly little wolves with soft fur and fluffy tails who lived with their mother. The first was black, the second was grey, and the third white. One day, the mother called the three little wolves round her and said, "My children, it is time for you to go out into the world. Go and build a house for yourselves, but beware of the big bad pig." "Don't worry, mother, we'll watch out for him," said the three little wolves, and they set off. Soon they met a kangaroo who was pushing a wheelbarrow full of red and yellow bricks. "Please, will you give us some of your bricks?" asked the little wolves. "Certainly," said the kangaroo, and she gave them lots of red and yellow bricks. So the three little wolves built themselves a house of bricks. That's them making it, if it focuses. Yeah. The very next day, the big bad pig came prowling down the road and saw the house of bricks that the little wolves had built. The three little wolves were playing croquet in the garden. When they saw the big bad pig coming, they ran inside the house and locked the door. The pig knocked on the door and grunted, little wolves, let me come in." "No, no, no," said the three little wolves. "By the hair on our chinny chin chins, we will not let you in, not for all the tea leaves in our china teapot." "And I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down," said the pig. So he huffled and he puffled and he puffled and he huffled, but the house didn't fall down. But the pig wasn't called big and bad for nothing. He went and fetched a sledgehammer and he knocked the house down.
Alright, crazy psycho.
The three little wolves just managed to escape before the bricks crumbled, and they were very frightened indeed. But the pig was. "We shall have to build a stronger house," they said. Just then they saw a beaver who was mixing concrete in a concrete mixer. "Please will you give us some of your concrete?" asked the three little wolves. "Certainly," said the beaver, and he gave them buckets and buckets full of messy, slurry concrete. So the three wolves built themselves a house of concrete. No sooner had they finished than the big bad pig came prowling down the road and saw the house of concrete that the little wolves had built. They were playing battledore and shuttlecock in the garden, and when they saw the big bad pig coming, they ran inside their house and shut the door. The pig rang the bell and said, "Little frightened wolves, let me come in." "No, no, no," said the three little wolves. "By the hair on our chinny chin chins, we will not let you in, not for all the tea leaves in our china teapot." "And I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down," said the pig. So he huffed and he puffed and he puffed and he huffed, but the house didn't fall down. The pig wasn't called big and bad for nothing. He went and fetched his pneumatic drill and smashed the house down. The three little wolves managed to escape, but their chinny chin chins were trembling and trembling and trembling. "We shall build an even stronger house," they said, because they are very determined. Just then they saw a lorry coming down the road, carrying barbed wire, iron bars, armor plates, and heavy metal padlocks. "Please will you give us some of your barbed wire, a few iron bars and armor plates, and some heavy metal padlocks?" they said to the rhinoceros who was driving the lorry. "Sure," said the rhinoceros, and gave them plenty of barbed wire, iron bars, armor plates, and heavy metal padlocks. He also gave them some plexiglass and some reinforced steel chains, because it is a generous and kind-hearted rhinoceros. So the three little wolves built themselves an extremely strong house. It was the strongest, securest house one could possibly imagine. They felt very relaxed and absolutely safe. The next day, the big bad pig came prowling along the road as usual. The little wolves were playing hopscotch in the garden. When they saw the big bad pig coming, they ran inside the house, bolted the door, and locked all the 67 padlocks. The pig pressed the video entrance phone and said, "Frightened little wolves with the trembling chins, let me come in." "No, no, no," said the little wolves. By the hair on our chinny chin chins, we will not let you in, not for all the tea leaves in our china teapot. Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down, said the pig. So he huffed and he puffed and he puffed and he huffed, but the house didn't fall down. But the pig wasn't called big and bad for nothing. He brought some dynamite, laid it against the house, lit the fuse, and kaboom! The house blew up. The little wolves just managed to escape with their fluffy tails scorched. Something must be wrong with our building materials, they said. We have to try something different. But what? At that moment they saw a flamingo bird coming along pushing a wheelbarrow full of flowers. Please, will you give us some flowers? Asked the little wolves. With pleasure, said the flamingo bird, and gave them lots of flowers, so the three little wolves built themselves a house full of flowers. Hold on, mate. Got to scratch my chin. One wall was of marigolds, one full of daffodils, and one wall of pink roses, and one wall of cherry blossom. The ceiling was made of sunflowers, and the floor was a carpet of daisies. They had water lilies in their bathtub and buttercups in their fridge. It was a rather fragile house, and it swayed in the wind, but it was very beautiful. The next day the big bad pig came prowling down the road and saw the house with flowers that the little wolves had built. He rang the bluebell and said, "Little frightened wolves, with the trembling chins and the scorched tails, let me come in." "No, no, no," said the three little wolves. "By the hair on our chinny chin chins, we will not let you in, not for all the tea leaves in our china teapot. And I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down," said the pig. But as he took a deep breath, ready to huff and puff, he smelled the soft scent of the flowers. It was fantastic, and because the scent took his breath away, the pig took another breath, and then another. Instead of huffing and puffing, he began to sniff, and he sniffed and sniffed, deeper and deeper, until he was quite filled with the fragrant scent. His heart became tender, and he realized how horrible he had been in the past. In other words, he became a big, good pig. Then he started to sing and dance the tarantella. At first the three little wolves were a bit worried, thinking that it might be a trick, but soon they realized that the pig had truly changed, so they came running out of the house. They introduced themselves and started playing games with him. First they played pig pong and then piggy in the middle, and when they were all tired, they invited him into the house. They offered him china tea and strawberries and wolfberries and asked him to stay with them as long as he wanted. The pig accepted, and they all lived happily together after. The end. So there's me reading. I don't read aloud much, and you didn't see much of Baby Tasman over here, but
I was being a fabulous film player.
And I was there.